Hello and welcome to the show. Well, today I have with me Michele Hislop. She's a certified health and wellness coach. So when I first met her, I thought, boy, I think people would be interested in getting some coaching on being healthy and well. So I wanted to have her on my show. Michele, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you. It's a joy. It's a pleasure.
Now, I didn't give you much of your resume. You do quite a number of things. I mean, you are trained and talented. Tell us about that.
Right. I've been a practicing massage therapist for 15 years here in the community. I'm more recently a massage instructor, so I teach ethics and communications, massage theory, and the business of massage as a new class I'm taking on. I also teach an unmasking stress from a body-mind perspective to local businesses, actually it's an association. So yeah, I do quite a few things, and now I'm a certified health and wellness coach.
And I met you at the Chamber of Commerce,
Uh-huh.
and you came and saw you, and you told a little bit about your business, and I thought, I think people would like to hear about what she does, rather than wonder, what can I be doing if I find myself in a situation where I'd like to change and I don't know how? Would that be a person that might give you a call?
Right, somebody who's looking to do some kind of a behavior change, usually in regards to your health or wellness. It can be any number of any number of things. But
Well, how did you come to all these certifications and talents and interests?
right, well, I started off as a massage therapist. The thing that I really love about massage is I find it fascinating how our emotions get stored in our body. So as my years have gone on, I'm kind of a body-mind enthusiast. And as I decided I wanted to do a health and wellness coach because I feel, a lot of us are disconnected from our body and our mind. So we kind of need to get back in our body in order to create wholeness.
So I think I get it. You're working on people as a massage therapist. You're feeling all this tightness and stress and strain, and you're knowing that it's connected to emotion.
Oh, yeah.
And you'd like to talk about that emotion to help them with what's ailing them. But usually massage therapists don't come around and say,
Right.
how you feeling?
Right. Well,
So you wanted to have an opportunity to do both, to help unmask that stress as a class you teach, to get people to be aware of how their emotions are affecting them. Tell me about
Right.
that.
Yeah, I think it's important that we know how our body works in general, right? Our autonomic nervous system, our rest and digest is what a lot of people hear are fight and flight, right? That's two pieces of the nervous system that body workers work with all the time. We're trying to get people out of fight and flight and trying to get them to relax. And so it's important that we know how that operates in our body, because we as people can spin ourselves into a fight and flight just like that, or we could choose maybe a different direction and be more mindful and be more grounded into our body. Make sense?
Yeah, a lot of times I'll find my tongue is kind of pressed up tightly into the top of my mouth for some reason. I just go, okay, let's relax down.
Right.
Why did that happen?
Right.
So something there is giving me some sort of stress.
Right.
It's kind of a habit I have. So that maybe makes my neck stiff.
Right.
And then I go to the massage therapist. And then I need to go to the wellness coach to find out what emotions are making me uptight.
Well,
Right.
well, first, what's great is that you have awareness around that, right? That's your body's tell, right? Our body will communicate with us when things are out of balance. So if you're noticing that and then you're like, and I got to go to the massage therapist, right? The more awareness that we can create personally about those ways our body communicates with us, we have a lot of power back, right? And we can start changing that. Does that make sense?
So unmasking stress, the course you teach, what do you want people to take away from that?
I want them to understand, I really look at it as a course of empowerment. I really think there's a lot of personal empowerment in it. Once you kind of understand the way things are and weigh it out and understand that you can choose to see things or react to things differently, that creates a lot of self-empowerment. Makes sense? So
Yeah.
the more education, the more you know, the better. So if you understand how your body operates, how your emotions operate, and if you understand that you can create mindfulness and positivity and all of these things to take that down, we can create more wellness. Because if stress is one of like the number one killer, right? It wears our bodies out way quicker than it needs to be wore out. So we personally can counter that. That's
So
empowerment.
that understanding is important, but then putting it into practice.
Is-
I know that I should be
Right.
doing these things. So maybe that's where people get some help from you.
Right. So if you're feeling really out of balance, a health and wellness coach, it doesn't have to be me, it can be anybody, can help you create awarenesses. So if you were to come in, one of the first things that we would do is we would kind of do like a life check, like a little test. Where are things out of balance? You got work, your body, your diet, right? It would cover all those areas of life. And that would start to create some awareness where, for you personally, where things might be out of balance and where you might want to start making change. And then we would go in and we would kind of discuss, well, what do you want your life to look like? Do you want to be running on high level stress all the time? Does that really give you joy? Or do you want, what do you want? If it gives you joy, that's one thing, right? Then that's okay. So you just have to counter the physiological reactions of the body, because you're still going to get the wear and tear from the stress.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So something about out of balance in my life. I was just thinking while you were, where am I? And the other day I went to put something in a cupboard, and there was no room in it. And I thought, well, I'll put this someplace else, and someplace else was already full, and I realized that I need to do something about this. I've got too much stuff.
Okay.
And, the garage the workbench is not a bench where I can work on because it's this deep in this and that. So here I am out of balance with too much stuff. Help me out, would you?
Help you out. So the
Yeah.
question is for you is, so I'm hearing, I hear that you don't like the clutter.
Yes, that's exactly. And guess who else doesn't like the clutter? My wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we know we don't like the clutter,
Yeah.
but so what is it that is, let me see, how do I want to just, you don't like the clutter, so what, I'm gonna freeze, how,
How does it make me feel when I see it?
yeah, what best way can you change it,
Okay.
would be the question.
Well, I have this thing I love to do, is like take a desk drawer, dump it out, and then only put the stuff back in that I want to keep.
Okay,
I love that process. But I have so many drawers and cupboards now that I just feel overwhelmed. Like I have a resistance to even getting started because it just seems it's futile.
Right.
I'm overwhelmed.
so the list is too big,
Yeah.
right? So is there a way you can cut the list in half?
Okay.
Does it
still
have
too
to be
big.
all or nothing?
I think, yeah, maybe I should pick a corner or a room or a.
Make it more manageable,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think.
Or one drawer.
One drawer.
How does it feel to
That's-
clean out one drawer?
Like I've hardly gotten anything done. So I guess I need to kind of pick maybe a room.
Okay,
The utility room
all right.
would be a good place to start.
And if you were to do the utility room today, what would you first, what's the first thing to go?
Well, I have this pile of magazines. It's bass player magazines. I don't think the magazine's even printed anymore. And I just can't seem to let go of this pile of magazines. So I'm in a lot of ways, a lot of things are like that. I just feel stuck with, I want to keep it, I want to throw it away, and it's going to be a 1,000 of those decisions.
1,000.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing some, you have some emotional ties to it. It's a little nostalgic.
Yeah, yes. So
Yeah.
do I need a storage facility to store all my nostalgia?
Well, what is it about the magazines that you're feeling?
Yeah. I found out I really wasn't a bass player.
Ah,
So maybe I can just, I guess it was like it was a dream that didn't come true, and maybe if I hang on to them, it might come true still.
oh, so you're hanging on to a dream.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I need to let go of the bass dream. Bass player dream.
Okay.
So this is emotional stuff,
It
right?
is emotional
Yeah.
stuff, right? And you just kind of have to, of course, I'm not going to be able to do a full coaching session in this moment, but
Yeah.
you kind of work out like, do you feel ready? Do you feel ready to let go of that stack of magazines?
The paper itself, it really is not that significant.
Okay.
So maybe I can still have that nice thinking about playing a bass guitar, but I don't need the magazines.
Right. You can still carry the
Yeah,
memory of
yeah.
it or the dream. You can still carry the dream.
Yeah, I guess I'm attached to things. If I throw them out, I will forget.
Oh,
If I throw out this or that, then I'll forget about it, and then it's like it'll have never happened if I don't remember it. And so life gets thinner when you don't have a lot of stuff, but I'm still overwhelmed with all my stuff.
well, so I hear you really like the idea of playing bass.
At one time, it was a goal of mine. It's not really a goal anymore.
Oh, so it's not a goal any longer.
Yeah, I don't have a great sense of rhythm. The bass player has got to be the rhythm
Okay.
of the band.
But you're still really hanging on to your magazines.
Yeah, I think you've talked me out of them.
Okay.
Let's go to what's right next to them. There's a pile of rags.
Pile of rags. Oh, no.
And, how many rags does a person really need?
I don't know, Ken. How many
Yeah, I don't
rags?
know either. And so that answer that question, kind of, the pile is large.
Right? The rag pile is large?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. What else could be done with the rags?
I'm not sure Goodwill even wants them, so I think they're going to go, there probably is somebody that will make rags into insulation or something, so maybe I could recycle them.
Right. So it's kind of important to you that they have another purpose.
Yeah, that I'm not just taking it all to the dump.
Gotcha. Because you don't want it to be in the landfill. So it needs something. So what would be a good area? Who would utilize rags?
You see,
You want to brainstorm it?
yeah. Now, we've only done two things, excuse me, and we've talked for 10 minutes on two things in my cupboard. So help me get past all these resistance with each thing that's in there.
Mm-hmm.
And my cupboards are full, and I have to put some things away. So you see, so that's why I just feel stuck.
Right. Well, I hear you feel stuck. Right. Is there, what feels good to you? Is there like maybe something this next week that you can do towards this goal of starting to clean out this one room, your utility room? Is there one thing that you can do in the next week?
Definitely, yeah. Monday morning before I go to work, I could put the bass player magazines in the car and recycle them, and take most of the rags and recycle those, and probably move through that whole cupboard. So a time goal, Monday morning.
You got Monday morning.
Yeah.
You're going to put your magazines
Yep,
and your rags
yep.
in your car, and you're going to take them to,
Well, they can go in the commingle recycling.
okay,
The magazines can.
okay,
And the rags I'll find out. I don't know.
okay.
So it's just
You've got a goal.
Yeah, I've got a goal, and I'll continue from there.
Right,
Now, people come into you with other kinds of problems,
sure.
or things that they want.
Mm-hmm.
They want to stop smoking, lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
Lose weight, for example. People come in and I would say, I want to lose weight because I want to look better.
Right.
How would you help me with that?
So again, we would discuss where you want to go with that. and why. Why do you want to lose weight, right?
What's
What
that?
is it?
I want to
What-
look better.
You want to look better. What do you get from looking better? How does that make you feel?
Maybe that's not a very good goal.
Oh.
I mean, to look better. Maybe I need
Right.
a better reason.
Right, so usually when we do some kind of change around weight or a lifestyle or something, we can go ahead and lose 10 pounds, right? Oftentimes, we can push and lose it, and then it'll come back, push and lose it, and then it will come back. If you really have to discover your deep why, right? Like I want to lose 10 pounds. I can use myself. I've, over time lost some weight, and right now have put some back on, and I have to reconnect to my why, right? And my why is I just want to feel better in my body. I want to feel strong and healthy, and my ultimate goal for that is to have longevity, have a quality of life, as I continue to age and move forward. So I can say I can lose 10 pounds and try, and I'm going to get a lot of resistance because I've done it multiple times. Resistance, like I can't, keep on my healthy eating and da 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 da. And it's because I'm disconnected to that deep feeling of why. And ultimately, why is I want to feel good for myself. I don't want to do it for anybody else. Is that making sense?
So yeah, I came in with this, I want to look better, is probably not the deep why. It's not the one that's going to bring.
Hold it,
Hold.
right. I mean, you could hold it and struggle with it. And oftentimes, I mean, from the numerous women or people that I know, it's this yo-yo pattern, right? And when I've created longer lasting weight loss is when I've come from this place of feeling strong, healthy, and youthful for myself.
Yeah.
Does that make
Not
sense?
subjective on other people's subjective
Right.
opinions,
Right.
which are,
It's about me, yeah. And I want to live longer for my grandkids, right? I want to be around and have a healthy quality of life with them and be active as long as I possibly can.
so that's part of your coaching, is helping people look for the deep why.
The deeper why.
What are some other things that you've helped people with that they come in and say, "Oh, I'm ready to change this, and I'm kind of stuck"?
Right. So and most of the people I've worked with is usually around weight. So it's usually around some type of eating, right? How do I maintain healthier eating versus following a diet, right? Because fad diets only last for short periods of time. But if you come from creating change around what kind of diet and you just want to start adding more vegetables and creating more health that way, maybe it's eating cleaner, right? Cleaner meats and vegetables so you're not getting all those chemicals. That type of a change I've helped people with. And last noted, they were still, creating this healthy lifestyle around their food that if they fell off, it wasn't a horrible thing. They just got back on and maintained that healthy lifestyle. Exercise is another one I've helped people with. And I've actually helped with some relationship issues, kind of helping people if they're too locked into a relationship and it's usually a parenting thing. Not necessarily usually, but you get too locked in and want to control everything. And, the fact is we can't control everything. And the only thing that we can control, which is back to the mind-body, is how we choose to respond to it. We have to stay centered within ourselves. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So someone would come to the realization that they're uncomfortable with this relationship, and you would help them look for the deep why of how they want to improve it.
Right.
And like with dieting, just eating less is kind of hard to hold.
Right.
But eating cleaner, picking some sort of concrete way to eat instead of just less, which is
Right. It would usually start off some kind of baby steps. Let's say somebody wanted to, start to eat healthier. Well, maybe you're eating more salad. For somebody, eating healthier would be eating 2 salads a week, right? So discovering that with somebody and creating a goal for that. And how did that go? Can you maintain 2 salads a week? Yeah, that was easy, man. I can do 3 days now, right? So then you can increase to 3. And then as people, usually what happens is as we have baby steps, it's always about baby steps. As we create small steps towards change, then we start feeling a little confident, like, oh, we can, right? I can create change. I can do this. So then we take on bigger goals. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's just, it's not something, you can't, if somebody comes in and they do not exercise and they say, I want to start exercising 5 days a week. Well, let's talk about that. Is that really realistic for you? What's your lifestyle like? What's your work schedule like? Let's really look at that. When would you be able to go to the gym 5 days a week? Oh, well, I work from 7 to 7. So, okay, you work from 7 to 7. Where would you fit that in? So then you kind of start playing that. Where is it going to work? How is it going to look? And then you create a goal around that. And maybe it's not 5 days a week. Maybe it's walking around the block 2 days a week. Maybe that's how you're starting. So we all want to like start and create this giant change, but the reality is if we want to create lasting change, we need to take baby steps towards it.
Okay. Now, I would imagine you provide accountability for
Yes.
your people that come talk to you. In other words, I'll see you in a week, and that gives them something to think about.
Right? And they take their goal and we like to call them experiments. They're not set in stone because they're an experiment. How is this going to work in your life? If you want to do 5 days a week, great. You're going to go to the gym 5 days a week at 7:30 at night, and you're going to go off for the week and see how that works. And then you're going to come back and talk about that. What worked, what didn't work. Was it reasonable, was it not? Maybe not, wasn't so reasonable. I got to the gym one night. Okay. Is there other times during the week? So then you hone in the goal a little bit more so you can create something that works for them with their lifestyle and is in regards to their their values, right? And what they want in their world, right?
That's what I think in your website or your questionnaire, it talked about your goal, your values, right? Is that kind of where you start with people often?
Right, you can get them to understand, like, that's what the first questionnaire is like, where is things out of balance, right? And then the dream is about, why do you want these changes? And then as that happens, you discover why you really want those. If you have, let's say the doctor says, you gotta quit smoking. You've been a smoker for 15 years, you're gonna die. Well, most of the time, people are gonna be like, that's not gonna work for me, it doesn't matter, right? So you have to figure out, they need to figure out what their why is. Why do they wanna quit smoking? Is it because they wanna live longer and be around their family more? Is it they wanna go climb Mount Everest? Is it they wanna start, whatever it is? They could just wanna maybe go to the gym, and walk on the treadmill for 20 minutes and not feel winded, right? You have to figure that piece out. That's what I think my job is, to walk with somebody as they create their own plan for their own life to create positive change in their wellness.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your process is, these are short sessions, long sessions? How was it like when they come to your office?
So first you kind of do this little wellness thing that gives me an idea. It gives me a platform. They come in for anywhere from a 60 to a 90-minute session at first, and that session is kind of creating their wellness vision, right? And usually you can walk out with a 3-month goal and at least 1 to 3 weekly goals. It just depends. And then after that, you just meet 30 minutes a week. And you can meet over the phone, video. You don't have to, or in person. It doesn't have to be done. That's kind of the beauty of coaching, is that you can do Skype or whatever. So you don't have to take the time to go to the appointment. You can just kind of stay at the computer and and touch base and go forward, or on the phone.
It's a different business model than massage.
It is different. It's a
You
very
can't-
different business
you
model.
can't Skype a massage.
It's true. It's true.
But that's so convenient.
It
to-
is convenient. Yeah, I think so.
All our different ways to communicate.
Mhm.
So you have an office where you do massage and a separate, in an office where you do, where you meet with people?
Right. So actually, I just transitioned from my from a storefront back to my home-based practice.
Okay.
So I ran a home-based massage practice for 7 years and put myself through college and went and got my bachelor's degree. And I stepped out and did a storefront. But now that I'm kind of really trying to start this new business model, which is very different, like you said, I brought my massage practice back home so I can have that convenience. So I can meet at my home from my home-based business
Yeah.
here in McMinnville.
Are you from nearby?
Yeah, I'm on 8th Street.
Okay. And where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Portland
Okay. A
for
local?
the most part. Grew up
And-
in Portland. Me and my kids moved to McMinnville about 22 years ago, and we've just been here ever since.
And you've been in massage for a long time, it sounds like.
Yeah, 15 years. Mm-hmm.
So the kids kind of got older and you thought, I'm gonna do this.
Well, actually, I went to school. I was a late life student. I was actually a high school dropout. I didn't get my GED until I was in my 30s. Put myself through massage school, and then did that. I raised my kids being a massage therapist here in this community. It's been a very good thing for me. And then as I continued forward, I decided I wanted to learn more, and so I went back to community college, our local Chemeketa, and then I decided, I'm going to go do a 4-year college. So then I went to Merrillhurst, and then I took classes Merrillhurst, Chemeketa Yamhill, Chemeketa and Salem to finish up that degree. And here I am. Then I decided I wanted to do coaching. I wanted to be a health and wellness coach.
Well, 15 years of massage, I imagine you have learned a whole lot about the human body and different people's bodies, but you've probably learned a lot about some patterns about this causes that, and you've learned some techniques and some ways to really help people with your massage. I mean, you're experienced.
Right.
And now with your wellness coaching, I'm just curious, your experience, what has it taught you about people that maybe, what's an insight that you've gained by having these intimate conversations with people? How has it kind of surprised you, or what have you learned?
So this is what I've learned about being a massage therapist. I believe that we as body workers have an incredible capacity to help people create more empowerment around their own bodies, right? More self-awareness. I also see lots of stuff in regards to stress, depression, anxiety. For a short while, I even worked at the YCCO in their pain clinic. I was the massage therapist there and had amazing experience there, and so much learning in that process around chronic pain for people. Chronic pain shows up, it can be emotional, again, anxiety, depression. It can also be injury. I could probably trail off, and I get all about body stuff. Anyway, so I've just learned that we store so much in our bodies, and the big disconnect is that most of the time we're running disconnected from our body. Okay, and I think that when we reconnect our body and befriend our bodies and become our own best friend, really, that we can create a lot of health and wellness for ourselves and joy, and we can have more happiness in life if we're listening to ourselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I love that. I think that's a great place to end.
Good.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Okay.